Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jediism 101, where we have been discussing what it is to be a Jedi realist in today's world. As a recap, a Jedi realist is someone who has taken a look at the fictional Jedi from the Star Wars universe, this being the movies, the TV shows, the books, the comics, and even the role playing game, and decided might not be a bad way to live. And very smart people have taken a look at all the material, combined it with some other material, and found out, hey, I think we can do this. So what we've been working on as of late has been the Vows of the Jedi. The next vow that we're talking about today is the Vow of Defense. This reads thusly: a Jedi is sworn to defense. The defense of themselves, of others, and of ideals. A Jedi is not born to suffer or sit idly by when others are threatened. The mandate of the Jedi is to defend those that cannot defend themselves and to protect the sanctity of life, even, if necessary, at the expense of their own. So, as we unpack that and take a look into what this means, it's pretty straightforward. You have to stand up to the bullies. You have to defend those that are weaker than you are, or weaker than the people who are trying to oppress, attack, or demean them. Now, with this being in mind, yes, this can give road to having heroic tendencies, and that's just fine. Be the hero. But where I see it also is you can't defend others if you can't defend yourself. Now, this, to me, means that you need to make sure that you yourself are going to be safe while doing this. It's one thing to take on a bully, but if the bully is 3 times your size, unless you've got a solid plan, defending the person the bully is attacking might be a little more tougher than you think. Now, that being said, I'm not saying, back down to every fight you see. That's not what Jedi do. But there are tools, not necessarily physical tools. Remember our vow of restraint from last time? Maybe you don't have and when I'm saying tools, I don't necessarily mean a weapon. Unless your state has an open carry law, or you have a concealed carry law, and I'm not talking about just a firearm. I'm also speaking of one of those collapsible batons, a nightstick, anything that you could use to aid you in the defense of others. Or, maybe you happen to be a skilled martial artist that actually has had real world combat. Or you also may be a soldier or a police officer. These are all fine endeavors. But what I'm also saying is, before you jump in to defend somebody, you make sure you know the context of this action. I think far too many people have jumped into situations that they don't know anything about, only to find out, hey, you're fighting on the wrong side. Hey, maybe you didn't catch the whole incident, and the person that you are defending was the instigator. And who must have bit off more than they could chew, or didn't expect the person to fight back, or what have you. What I'm saying is, when it comes to the vow of defense, you need to be smart about it. Willing to give your life in the defense of others, and there's nothing more noble than that. Just make sure that you don't end up doing it in the first place. If you become a soldier, that's great. Jedi were soldiers, or they could be soldiers. If you become an officer of the law, okay, good way to, that's a good way of defending the helpless, upstanding the weak, abiding the law, making sure that everybody has a fair shake. You become a security personnel. You're still defending things. It's a context of your own volition. And the other thing is, these are troubling times. I'm not going to get into it. I hate politics. I don't want to get into politics. I'm going to stay away from politics. My thing is, there are a lot of issues going on right now. And there's a lot of issues that people have strong opinions of one way or the other. When it comes to this type of nature, though, I'm a big proponent of you need to pick your battles. As much as I would like to jump in and fight the oppression, the government, the law, whatever. As much as I'd like to do a lot of different things, first off, I'm only one person. You are only one person who's watching this. And trying to fight all of it at one time, that's exhausting. And what's going to happen is you're going to burn yourself out on behalf of others. And who's going to be there to protect you? So, in the vow of defense, yes, please, if you see something going bad in front of you, jump in. If you have an issue that you feel needs to be defended or put down, depending on your side of the view of it, make your decision on if that is going to be worthy and if you can actually do it. I mean, if this is not going to be a fight the fights the fight we can win, we don't become Jedi because we're the winning side. We can become Jedi because we believe in the light, and it's the right thing to do. But, so you fight the fights that need fighting. The discernment here is knowing what those fights are and what is going to be worth your time and your energy. Because time might be infinite, yours is not. So, and neither is your energy level. So make sure that when you're thinking about defending others, that you actually have the time and energy to do so. And also, don't do it at the expense of your own personal growth. There's got to be, you put a limit on what you're doing to help and defend and all this kind of stuff. It gets really tough to figure that kind of stuff out after a while. And, I think it's just better if you, pick a few battles. Throw your heart into those. If you see another one that needs to be fought, ask yourself, can I defend this? Can I fight it? Can I get in there? Can I actually make something of it? Can I be more than just a number? And that's the other thing. You have to be more than just a number or a signature on a petition or whatever. Excuse me. So the vow of defense is nuanced. Now, looking at the words written there, it means charge into the combat or the battle headlong. And to quote Shrek, supposed to charge in, sword drawn, banner flying, which is exactly what all the other knights did right before they burst into flame. These guys went off half-cocked. They went in not without a plan. Jedi have a plan. Jedi contemplate. Jedi show restraint. So, in this regard here, make sure you plan. Make sure you restrain. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. Knee-jerk reactions, well, that's kind of how a lot of things go wrong. But, trust your gut. Trust your reflexes. Trust the Force. All right, that's the vow of defense from my point of view. You may have different questions or opinions on it. I look forward to hearing from it. Please do put those in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that kind of fun jazz. Until then, I want you to make sure that you are drinking plenty of water, getting some healthy sun, getting fresh air, getting some good activity in, being kind to the environment, to animals, to all those people that you meet every day because they're fighting battles that you don't know anything about. And always make sure that you are kind to yourself. You deserve kindness. All right, then, folks, until then, I will see you next time. May the Force be with you.